So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Mediocre, welcome. How are you doing tonight?
How you doing, bud? I love the hat.
Doing swell. Thank you. I ordered this from AMC's website. I hear they're sold out now. I don't know.
I didn't even know they made them, to be honest, but I like it. It's nice. Wish I had
everyone. You can probably get one if they restock. I want to Mediocre, maybe, obviously we're going to go through the 8K, the one that dropped tonight. Yes, there's going to be a lot of drama and emotion and dissent and differing ideas and opinions about this 8K and what it means and why they're doing it. I'm going to share my thoughts with you. Mediocre's going to do the same. We haven't really discussed this previously. I think we've both had a chance to read through it once or twice. As far as the other side, I've heard, I've listened in to some people's thoughts that, the folks who hate Adam Aaron and think everything's a conspiracy, yada, yada, yada. I get it. I hear you on that side too. You're welcome to your opinions. We're going to present, for my side, I look at what are the executives doing to help the company, not what are they doing to hurt the company. And then we could, I think, reasonably argue or discuss amongst ourselves if they're helping the company or hurting the company. Is it good for retail? Still could be the same answer. Either way, it might not be good for retail. That's for the second half of this discussion. But I'm going to give you my thoughts about why he's doing this. We'll let Mediocre do his as well. But maybe you can give us a couple seconds of TA on AMC if you want, Mediocre, or maybe should we skip that since we have this 8K? Maybe things are going to be a little more unknown tomorrow. Do you want to talk about the past couple days? Maybe
we can. Yeah, I don't mind bringing up a chart at all. I mean, I'm always willing to talk about the chart, but we took a hit tonight.
Pull up your chart and let's do no more than 120 seconds of TA. Because you should be able to do that with the signals that you and I use, moving averages, MACD, etc. Pull up your chart and let's run through that real quick. I went over were you on that call we did on Tuesday night? We were on a Discord call Tuesday night. I said that Wednesday we'd close around 580. We closed at 573. And on YouTube last night, I said that we'd close around 525 today, and we closed at 530 something. So I know there's a lot of talk in the community right now and about again fractals and algos, and I appreciate everybody's efforts that are contributing to this community. I don't mean to slight them, but I do want to keep on my channel at least this realm of reality where we look at news, where we look at economics, where we look at the indexes and what's affecting the market as a whole, earnings and pre-market on big companies, news, company specific. And I combine all of that with my TA specific to the company with moving averages and analyzing the candle and volume patterns. And what I saw was declining candles and declining volume. In my book, that is never bullish. So that's why I had the negative, the downside predictions. But let's put up your chart.
I haven't really been watching it lately. I've been trading other things, but I mean, let's move back. Let's do it. 4-hour chart because we'll get better there.
Abby, thank you very much for the $5. I appreciate you.
So, I mean, we had a nice run up, as we can see on the 4-hour here. We came all the way up, but we got stopped out here at 734. I don't know what happened, but ever since that happened, we never regained. We got pushed. We started getting pushed back down, and I was hoping that this 622 resistance support level was going to hold. It didn't. It broke that, and here we are. We're all the way back down to 524, but we're on this support level here, and I'm hoping that we hold the support level. I think we will overall hold it. And I believe the stock will recover, but when it recovers, it's going to recover based on fundamentals of the stock. It's going to take a few days. It's not going to happen overnight. There's a lot going on with the stock right now. That 8K came out. That's very important. It has a lot to do with probably this whole move, in my opinion.
Do you do any volume analysis? Notice how each day has declining volume towards the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I could tell you daily volume. Let's do that.
I mean, I'm just looking. I'm looking at the volume candles there on the bottom. Is what I'm looking at. Go back to that. Go to a 1-hour chart and look at the daily volume candles.
Hold on.
Now, generally, when you have declining volume and declining price, that means that you're losing buying pressure. So
Yeah.
if that continues into the next day, I would expect that the next day is going to be red.
Every one of these candles is red. Now, I could give you actual numbers on the day if you want, but I could tell you that there was a lot of selling pressure the past few days. I could tell that just by looking. We had a lot of selling going on over here.
All right, but I do agree with you. It looks like we found some support at the end of the day, and there was that kick up. And if all you were looking at was AMC, you might say, "Oh, we found support." That was a perfect AMC support bounce, but the SPY and the other indexes bounced at that same time, and almost every blue chip company, you can go look at them, they all had that exact end of day move with AMC. Yeah. So that's always something I use to double check myself. Was this an AMC specific bounce? Was this a technical signal bounce? Or was this a market condition? And in this case, I'm going with this was a general market uptick, AMCs and a bunch of ETFs. And there are algos that control everything, right? So when money starts coming back in and the buy switch gets turned back on, everything tends to, you see people post these charts where, why does every stock look exactly the same? Because they're all being run by algos or computerized trading. And once that buying starts happen, it happens in everything. So I guess my point is it wasn't an AMC specific bounce at the end of the day.
No. It was market wide. Yeah.
Grandpa Barney, what's up? Steve, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, so I mean, as you can see, we had huge volume on this green candle when we ran up to $7, on the daily. That was, almost 30 million in volume right there. The next day, you're talking another 30 million, but downward pressure.
Yep.
And this was 31 million the following day, and today was 29 million. So, we had some downward pressure on the stock. Overall, I think everything was down today. So I believe we're going to recover right here at 530 and probably make our way up. It may take a couple of days or whatever, but I see us starting to make our way back up. That's pretty much all I really got. There's not really talking about.
Let's talk about this 8K because that's what people came here for.
Let's do
Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to close out your chart there. So there was this new 8K filed today. I know for a lot of people, you're not used to reading forms and maybe you don't keep up with every SEC filing. So I've highlighted a few things on here and just to walk you back through where we were and where we are now at this. There was this original 8K filed back on December 22nd that had specific language in it about 2 tranches. Remember the Antara deal was in 2 parts. There was this 60 million apes for $34.9 million. And then there was the second tranche, this 106 million apes, or what they call the forward purchase apes, for 75 million. And that was the one that we had to wait 30 days for the FTC to approve that deal. Well, I was telling you guys, you won't hear anything from Adam Aron until at least after January 22nd because of this. I'm just going back to that because this filing today, when it starts out, it's referencing back to that second tranche. This is not new shares. This first paragraph is referencing the second tranche of December 22nd. Now that they got the FTC approval, the deal closed. The forward purchase apes closed. See, you got 106,595,106. That is the exact same number back here from December 22nd. Just if you had any doubts about where this number came from, this first paragraph is just saying that deal closed. The whole original Antara deal is now closed. Right? Then we got the new bits, the piece that has everybody up in arms. And I think that even this first part had people up in arms because they didn't understand that the first paragraph wasn't something new. It was the closeout of December 22nd. But let's talk about what's new. On February 9th, the company, AMC, and the investor, Antara, agreed to a waiver of lockup restrictions. If you recall from the original document, nobody was supposed to sell anything until after the vote. That was the lockup restrictions. Although there was some wording that said AMC might be able to sell a little bit if Antara agreed. And you guys have been very sharp on this channel for the last few weeks. Some of you have been asking me on live streams or in private messages, Tony, do you think that he's selling that other 60 million ape? You guys are sharp. I like that you're thinking that. And my answer always was to you, I don't know. They would need Antara's permission, and he would need to redo the proxy statement because the proxy statement already has numbers in it of how many shares are issued, how many Antara holds. So some of y'all remember us having that conversation, especially in the past week. But now we got a new twist. Not only, let's keep going. The waiver of the lockup restrictions will allow two things to happen. AMC is agreeing to allow Antara, the investor, here in yellow right here, to, do I need to make this bigger? AMC is allowing Antara to sell 26 million of the ape that they purchased, and they purchased about a total of 259 million, if I'm not mistaken. So what is that? Let's just say 10%. And we'll talk about the why in a second. And in addition to that, Antara is allowing AMC sale of apes by the company, which is AMC, in an amount not to exceed $140 million. So that means $140 million in cash coming into AMC's bank account. And we know that not all of the 1 billion apes were issued. It was like 940 million. So there's about 60 million left. And if you take 60 million times roughly the current price today, that, somewhere around there, you're going to get close to 140 million. I don't know how many ape AMC will sell, but whatever the quantity is times the price cannot exceed $140 million. So it was a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of deal. AMC, well, and we'll talk about the why in just a second. This also in green is pretty interesting, and I missed this the first time through. The company, AMC, also agreed that prior to March 31st, which would be 2 weeks after the vote, it will not issue or exchange without Antara's written consent any Class A common stock, that would be AMC stock after the vote, in return for cancellation of the company's outstanding indebtedness. Now, I don't know how you guys are reading that, or Mediocre, how you're reading it. I'll let you jump in here, but I'm reading this as another you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours between AMC and Antara. AMC is saying we will agree not to dilute before April 1st. Because, I've been telling you, they're probably going to dilute. That Adam Aaron wants to raise money after the split.
No, I agree.
AMC saying we're not going to dilute for 2 weeks on Tara, but in exchange, I want something from you, and I want you to forgive the remaining debt that we have with you.
And I think that's freaking awesome. I think Adam's getting the job done right now, to be honest, is what I think. I mean, he's getting what he needs to secure the company, make the company better off, right? We are getting hurt. Yes, that is true. Shareholders are getting a little hurt. But we were gonna get hurt anyways, right? A little bit. But this is probably, I kind of knew a deal like this would happen anyways, because the Forterra's in it for the long haul. They got shares at 66 cents. They might as well go along with us the whole way. So I just see it happening, and I kind of knew something like that was going to happen, and I knew that they were going to sell all the APE shares into the market anyways. Not Altera, but AMC was going to get rid of as many shares as they could get rid of before they go back together.
We've been theorizing that and hoping, actually, right? We've talked about it. We were hoping that Adam would use this run up in price to dump those last 60 million.
Right, so, because what's the point of holding them after conversion?
Why let them expire, right?
Right, exactly.
And so a lot of people are surprised and angry that Adam Aaron is dumping these shares. We've been talking about it, theorizing, even hoping that he would do it here for weeks, because it's a hell of a lot better, guys, to sell the remaining APE at $2.50 or $3 than 65 cents. So people were mad that he sold at 65 cents. Now I see Twitter on fire because Adam Aaron's selling them for $2.50 or $3. Like, make up your damn minds. You're not happy when he sells them cheap, and now that he's getting 4 or 5x the price, you're not happy now either.
What's he going to do with them? If he holds them, you get no benefit. The float's getting diluted what it is anyways. So he might as well get something for him.
I'm just going to pause 1 second. Someone's asking about the convertible tweet from Michael Burry. Michael Burry said, "Wake up, meme investors, and wake up to convertible death spiral financing." AMC, guys, has no convertible shares, no convertible bonds. Michael Burry, in my opinion, was referring to Bed Bath & Beyond with the new Series A preferred convertible shares. And if you don't know what that is, go watch my video from yesterday on Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm not bullish on those either, Michael Burry. That's why I've been putting out videos on Bed Bath & Beyond. That's why I said 2 days ago to the folks in my Discord, if I owned Bed Bath & Beyond, I'd be selling it. And I'm not in the play, but when I saw that deal, I was like, this is not going to be good. Up to 900 million shares of convertible dilution. So anyways, I don't think that Michael Burry tweet
due to the stock price.
That tweet had nothing to do with AMC. No, I think yeah, it's gonna push the price down, because look, you're dealing with Bed Bath & Beyond, a company with falling revenues. It's completely the opposite of AMC. Revenues have plummeted almost 50% since 2020. Earnings per share are getting worse. Losses are getting bigger. There's no money left in the bank. They're closing half their stores. This is not a recovery play at this moment. This is a let's try not to go bankrupt play. So they took a deal with the devil with these convertible preferred shares to try and save the company. Things that CEOs do, try and save the company. But it's probably not going to end up well. And even though the short interest is high and the cost to borrow is high, anytime retail tries to push it up, those preferred shares are going to convert, and they're going to sell into your buying. And it's not just 100 million, it's like 900 million, 800 million on top of 117 million float. So it's going to be tough to make a squeeze happen in BBBY. For those reasons, it's already a failing company. Now you got 8x dilution.
I'm happy with my position.
All right, back to this document. We covered the waiver of lockup restrictions. We're going to talk about that again in a second. We covered what we think it says here in green, that if AMC delays any dilution till April 1st or later, Antara is going to cancel any remaining indebtedness. And it's hard to find out what that exact number is, but I think it's somewhere, let's just say 350 to 400 million dollars in debt that's just going to be canceled in exchange for a 2-week delay in dilution. I do have the original, the last 10Q. The last 10Q, it was showing that debt at $1.4 billion. This second lien 1012 cash pick toggle due 2026. But I don't know that Antara is all of that. And some of this has been paid off since then. So we'll keep on working to try and get you that number. How much is going to be canceled? Did you have anything to add before we move to the next section?
No, I mean, I like what we're talking about. I think it's very important that we go over this because, people, I had people freaking out that, Atera was selling and all this. And I believe, and I don't have facts here, but I believe that if any of them was selling, it was AMC selling and taking cash, which I think is good anyways. That's what we want.
Yeah, we need cash on the balance sheet. Now, in addition, if we recall back from the original deal with Antara, back on this other document, part of this sale, they used some of that money to pay off the debt at a discount. I think it talks about it in here somewhere. Oh, it's because they exchanged $100 million for 91 million apes at 65 cents. So that was a significant discount. 91 times 65 cents in exchange. 91 million times 65 cents in exchange for 100 million bucks. That's a large discount. In addition, though, in this document, we got new news that it says, in addition to that deal, that $100 million for 91 million apes, the company has also repurchased 85 million more of debt back from Antara at an average discount of 49%. Or sorry, it's 85 million in debt at a discount of 49%, including from Antara 56.9. So they paid off debt to somebody else. Plus so Antara.
We're getting discounts.
We got 85 million in debt off the books for $42.5 million. I mean,
that's freaking awesome.
If that's not a CEO working hard to get you a good deal, I don't know what is.
I agree, Tony. And he's getting it done. I mean, we're not paying full price for the debt. I don't understand.
Not only is that debt getting off the balance sheet, this also improves your income statement because this is a 10% note. Let's just keep going. Total debt repurchase since the beginning of 2022, including these amounts, now stands at $365 million. All right. When you talk about income statement improvements, that's $36 million in interest per year that the company is no longer paying. That adds up as they chip away at this debt to not only make the balance sheet better by getting the debt off of it, but by cutting expenses, interest expense on the income statement. So that is the 4 things that was on this 8K, now we get into the more interesting stuff, and I'm going to start looking at some of your questions. The whys. This is what you're going to hear from everyone that hates AMC and hates Adam Aaron and thinks that every fucking thing in the world is a conspiracy. You're going to hear all sorts of evil ideas about why this could be happening. I look at it more pragmatically, like Adam Aaron's trying to improve and save his company. And I think somewhere in the middle of the haters and my pragmatic view, we might actually agree. And I think, Mediocre, I heard you commenting a minute ago, you might agree too, that the end result of this might not be the best thing for people hoping for a MOAS.
Exactly.
So let's just get that out of the way right now. This is not a hopium video where I'm going to tell you MOAS is assured because of this document. I'm going to keep it 100% real with you. But so you got to decide, guys, if you're in a play only for a MOAS, or if you're in a play that you think it has a potential for a squeeze if fundamentals improve. And you got to realize that there's potential dilution after the vote, after April 1st. There's a lot of balls in the air to think about. But you got a few weeks. So let's talk about the waiver of lockup restrictions, Mediocre. Why do you think that Adam Aaron would agree to let Antara sell 26 million shares, and why would he want to sell $140 million worth of APE? Why would Antara want to sell 26 million shares?
I think Antara just wants to recoup some of the money that they just gave back to, the debt that we owed them. So I think they want to kind of get some of that money back. And my feeling on AMC selling 140 million worth of shares is, what's the point of carrying them over in the conversion? You're better off just taking the cash from now, right? What helps us, though,
they would have just been vaporized. They would have been like they never existed if we didn't do anything with them before conversion.
Correct. So instead, we're getting cash for them, right? Which strengthens our overall fundamentals, right? And which could cause something to happen in AMC prior to the conversion. So we don't know. There's a lot of things that could happen.
Yep. You're going to hear a lot of people state things as fact, like, oh, I know this is it's going to cause the stock to tank. The MOAS the squeeze is ruined. Nobody knows shit about what's going to happen between now and March 14th, including myself, including Mediocre, including everybody that hates Adam Aaron and AMC. For them to say that with any degree of certainty, I would say, you should admit you're speculating because you don't know. Just like I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of shit going on, to be honest. So, but after this, I'll say this. After this 8K, I have a lot more faith in Adam Aaron than I did prior to this 8K.
Paying off the debt and negotiating 50% discounts is not the sign of someone trying to bankrupt the company and hand it over to debt holders. Would you agree?
I agree, and I don't think he's trying to destroy shareholders. I don't see that either.
No, improving the balance sheet is definitely improving our position as shareholders. That this is what we want him to do.
Correct.
Improve the fundamentals, get that fucking short target off our back. I know there's people that I've heard them say they want to ride this damn thing to zero. Just bankrupt the company, ride it to zero. I don't care. That is not where I'm coming from, guys. The only way to get the short target off our back is to pay off the debt and get more income coming in, which is going to take probably until 2024. I don't know what that means in terms of a timeline for any potential short squeeze, but I'm just saying movie industry box office revenue wise, we're looking 2024. If nothing spicy happens between now and then. So in the meantime, improve the balance sheet.
And he has to protect the business, right? If If he runs out of cash, how are we going to make it to 2024? That's the other problem people didn't see either. We have to make it there. You know, we're going to make it there now, I think. No problem.
I had a lot of people in my Discord mediocre asking why, why if Antara is so sure that it's going to squeeze after the vote, why would they want to sell 26 million shares right now? I have an answer, but I'm curious if you have an answer.
I believe that they want to recoup some of their money that
Boom.
they lent us, right?
Well,
We borrowed money from them, and they want to get some of that money back.
They bought APE for 65 cents a share, and they're sitting at what, 250, 275 today, $3 yesterday. What if you're on Wall Street, guys? If you're an institution, if you're a especially sharp institution like Antara is, and you're up 5x on your money, that's fucking take the office to the Bahamas vacation type returns.
Mm-hmm.
These guys on Wall Street, you see these firms, they're happy to get, if they made 20% in a year, that was a good year. If they can make 500%, that's a career making deal right there. So they know they're locked in till the vote, but there was probably this, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Look at them. I know that you would like to get $3 a share for your remaining 60 million apes, wouldn't you? How about you let us go ahead and offload a little bit too? And I call this in the Discord, I said, Antara is secure in their bag, basically. It's the same thing we talk about on this channel all the time. Always be taking profits. Like, they got two choices. They could let it all ride till the vote and then see what happens, or they could work out a deal with Adam to sell a little bit now, secure their bag, and whatever happens, that degree of uncertainty after the vote, they've taken some risk off the table. So that I think that's kind of their motivation. And Adam, I don't know who asked who, but I bet Adam and the team were sitting there saying, we got 60 million ape that are just about to be vaporized. Whereas if we could work out some deal with you guys, we could make 140 million bucks, put that in the bank. So I think they came to a mutual agreement. It was a win-win for each one. Now, do you have any other thoughts on that?
I'm happy with the way that the AMC is handling the whole situation with the debt. They've negotiated deals that greatly help shareholders in the company. So, we're making major headwinds. So I'm pleased with that, to be honest. I'm good with Antara taking a little off the table. What the heck? They're the ones who put the money up. And I know people are upset with Antara because Antara, they claim Antara was short in the stock, but they weren't actually short in the stock. They were driving the price down, yes, but they weren't applying short interest to the stock. They were buying and selling for a loss, driving the price down, which is legal, right? But now with the deals, they're with us, right? I understand they were hurting our stock. I get it, but they're long now, and they're obviously in it for the long haul. If you can't see that in this document, I don't know what to say.
I don't know. I'm going to disagree with you there. I don't know that they're in it for the long haul. I think they're in it for the trade. That's what I think.
Yeah, but they have to be in it until after.
The long haul for me means like they're going to be lifetime investors or 1-year investors in the AMC. I don't think that.
Oh, at least till conversion. You know what I mean?
They're in it for the short haul. They're in it till the vote. Maybe that's just our difference in terminology. Your version, your definition of long haul and mine might be different. What else was I going to say about this? Oh, all right. So let's talk about so Antara is trying to secure their bag. AMC is trying to sell off those last bit of APE. AMC makes 140 million, improves the balance sheet. Antara gets to secure their bag. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I had to walk my brain through to where I was in the stack. The price fell of APE in after hours. Did you see that? Mediocre.
Yes.
So what do we close at? Like down 10%, 9%?
Let me see if I can't pull it up.
8.8%. 24 cents.
Yeah.
People are losing their fucking minds because the stock went down 24 cents. I mean, we've had days in normal trading where it goes down more than that and you don't lose your minds, but it goes down 24 cents and you lose your minds. I'm going to say, here's my thoughts on that. We've been talking about this for the past couple days in Discord and on the live last night about the arbitrage value of APE relative to AMC. And I said last night that at the current price where we were at yesterday and even at market close today, the arbitrage price was in my opinion, in spreadsheet study. The price of APE relative to AMC, because of the 2x float on APE, it is perfectly arbitrage. There's no more arbitrage opportunity. The ratio is set. The market has figured it out. There's real, in my mind, no advantage to buying APE for an institutional investor or even myself at this point once it's more than about 50% of the price of AMC. There's no more arbitrage opportunity. Because of looking at this on a spreadsheet with some folks the other night, looking at the 2x float of APE and how they're going to combine after the vote, APE is not going to run up to the price of AMC. Do you agree with that, Mediocre? Or do you still think it's going to run up to equal AMC?
You're right. It won't equal because that just dawned on me now because I always thought it would, but you're right. Because it's 2 times the float, it has to be a percentage less.
And
that is a point that I didn't think of. We
did a mathematical analysis on Excel a couple nights ago, and it's just slightly over 50%. So if APE were to drop to $1, I'd be buying it. And I did. I bought a shit ton of APE as it was dropping. But right now, there's no advantage to buy APE over AMC. Either one, the market has got things to the right price. As long, I think you'll continue to see that if AMC moves up or down, APE will move up or down and stay about half the price of AMC.
Yeah, I can see that happening now.
So it took me a long time to get to my point. The fact that they issued more, that they probably sold or are selling about 60 million more APE, that increases the float of APE even more. And that also affects the arbitrage formula. So by definition, by math, the price of APE needs to come down just a little bit more to respect that arbitrage formula. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes. We have that in my Discord as well, that spreadsheet.
So that's I just wanted to say that about why the price of APE came down. That is my current thought. We'll see in the morning how people react. I think if there might be some people that are worried about this and they sell, and you might 60 million shares. I mean, it's not really that much. But even if they do, I think that the market will buy APE up if people sell it off and get it back to about that 50% ratio. So I may be looking for that as an opportunity if APE starts dropping to come in and snap up some more. If it drops well below 50% the price of AMC.
I'll be looking at it myself.
All right, let's see what questions you guys have.
I think that's a good idea. I think we're good. I'm shit. I wasn't expecting this, Tony, but I'm kind of glad that it came out. I was expecting a sell from AMC, but I wasn't sure how they were going to do it because I knew there was that lockup deal. But
Someone asked if AMC is still on the threshold list. I didn't look today. Let me check real quick. Maybe someone already knows in the chat, but I have it right here. We are. Yep. Does that make 6 days now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did we get on? Today's the 5th day. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, today's the 6th day. So you're automatically on the threshold list for 5 days, even if they fix it on the 1st. So there were some continued. Oh no, we don't have data for the 9th yet. Yeah, today. This was the 5th day. Yesterday, we don't have data for today. Well, whenever this gets updated and published, I'll let you know. But automatically, there's no need to keep we're day 2 on the threshold list. Day 3, you're always going to be on it minimum of 5 days, no matter what. If you're on it past then you know there's ongoing failure to deliver issues. All right, what else?
there was a good question.
Palm
I can't think of
Sun.
his name.
What, that was a good question about the threshold list.
No, his question was about APE being half the price of AMC, so it's still a good deal, and they're not taking into account the float size is going to bring your AMC down when it
Right.
converts.
Yeah, I've had some theories, and until some folks sat me down with the spreadsheet and we walked through it, we spent a couple hours looking at a bunch of different things relative to the upcoming vote and the proper, what's going to happen after the conversion and the reverse split. What would the new price be? And we looked at the arbitrage equation and realized that it's exactly where it should be, the price of AMC and APE relative to each other right now. So if tomorrow I see APE dropping and AMC holding, then I might go in and buy some more APE. Tara Bulls Cucumber says, can you agree AMC is no longer a squeeze play, but a fundamental play? I think we're somewhere in the middle, Miss Cucumber.
Yeah.
The cost to borrow is high. The short interest is high. But that could all change after the vote. So if anything's going to happen, if Adam Aaron's going to drop some catalyst news, the time to do it is before the vote. If we get to the vote and then we get to April 1st and he starts doing dilution of the post reverse split AMC, that makes it much more difficult, in my opinion, to get a big squeeze until all of that's worked through the system. And you might have to wait a few months till Adam says, we raised $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion, improve the balance sheet. Then you could have some good news. But right now things are still potentially squeezy. I can't tell you what it's going to be like after March 14th.
Yeah, until they're converted back together, there's still potential for the squeeze. I mean, there's even still potential after, but when you put that big APE float back in AMC, it's going to hurt some stuff. That's just, I don't think the play's over, but I mean, it's not going to be.
When you bring APE over with a much lower short interest, it's about 7% right now, and it's twice the float of AMC. You combine that with AMC. Once you combine 7% of $1 billion plus 23% of $500,000, I'm talking short interest percentage. Your short interest percentage is going to drop.
Correct.
That's what I want you guys to understand. The short interest after the vote, after the conversion, at moment 1, at T0, it's going to drop. What happens after that is going to be up to if people decide to short it. You might see the short interest go right back up. If some people think it's going to be shorted into oblivion, well, the short interest could drive right back up. maybe they won't short it. I'm just saying at the moment they converge, at least temporarily, the short interest in percentage is going to drop, and then the market will take over, and we'll see what the shorts do.
I concur.
Ernest says, what do you think the fundamental value is of AMC after everything settles down? Are you talking what should the price be? I think we've looked at that a few times. I don't like giving an answer because no matter what I say, people are going to tear it apart. So I always just bring up Morningstar and let you look at that. And this is not including APE, but they have fair value with a bit of uncertainty at $10.57. Current price $5.72. So this is where we're at. This is Morningstar's algorithmic calculation of fair value for AMC.
I'm reading some of these comments. I believe we're going to make money. I believe Adam and AMC is doing the best that it can do for its shareholders without going bankrupt. If we go bankrupt, we don't get anything. So people need to realize that. I'm just going to say it. A no vote is really not an option. A no vote is bankruptcy, a long, miserable death to bankruptcy.
I was using that phrase, and I know I was making some people upset. So I was being purposely a little bit bombastic, saying if you vote no, it's bankruptcy. Yes, I was being antagonistic on purpose. Adam, if the no votes win, Adam Aaron still can issue 4 billion more APE and sell them, right?
That doesn't help us.
Right. That's where I'm going with this story. He can still issue 4 billion more APE, and the price is going to drop right back down to 65 cents. So you can vote no and give away billions of votes to institutions for 65 cents because there's going to be more sweetheart deals like Antara got.
Once they get the vote, we're not needed.
Yeah. Once they get your vote, guys, you are fucked. We might already have lost power with Antara buying this, but if you vote no because whatever, you're definitely giving someone the opportunity to buy hundreds of millions or billions of more votes on the cheap relative to your vote in AMC. I want you to think about that and repeat what I just said in your head. If you vote no, the price of APE will go back down and you will be handing over, while your APE vote that you paid $5.70 for is worth 1 vote, you're going to give someone else 5 votes for the same amount of money, 10 votes for the same amount of money. Who
say much nicer than I do, Tony.
Well,
I'm not kidding, dude.
Meanwhile, the company is diluting the fuck out of APE, which still shows up on our income statement. AMC and APE are right there on the income statement at the bottom where you calculate earnings per share. You notice in the last 10Q, it says 1 billion shares. That was APE plus AMC. So your EPS is going to be diluted by billions if you vote no and force him to keep selling APE. So you're not going to win voting no, is what I'm saying. You're going to get more shares out there cheaper than AMC, and
Adam Aaron will just
screw up everything.
Here you go. We're going to vote again. As soon as he gets the vote, you lose anyways. Voting no isn't going to help you. I don't even think a no vote has a shot of winning anyways. I'm just entertaining the question that.
Yeah. I think both of us have been very clear. Vote your conscience, guys. We're not telling you how to vote. We're just
definitely not.
People who are saying to vote no are not telling you this stuff. The company must raise money, and you got 2 choices: raise money by selling AMC after a yes vote, or raise money by continuing to sell APE if the no vote wins. They're not telling you about the billions of APE that are going to be
What-
sold for pennies on the dollar. The people that
What's
are pushing no vote.
what's the most important part of APE?
The fact that it is economically equivalent to AMC.
No, the fact that it has voting rights.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm economically equivalent.
Yeah.
It has a voting right, and it can be converted into AMC at a later date. That's the two
How much
powers of
money
APE.
does retail have to buy? Right. You're going to be outbought is my point.
Exactly.
If you vote no. That's just the truth.
I'm not saying a yes vote is ideal either, right?
No, me either.
Both of them are tough situations for everybody. But if I'm looking at selling billions of shares for 60 cents or 100 million for $30, I can do the math and figure out which one makes more sense for less shares of dilution.
And I don't know about you guys. I'm in the play to make money. As much money as I can make, I want to make. So I want to do it the fastest and easiest way to make that money. And without AMC getting money, we ain't going to make no money. That's just the truth.
Someone asked, what is Antara's percentage of ownership? They own 27% of APE. It'll be a little bit less when they dump these 26 million shares. But as of the proxy filing, they own 27% of APE, which gives them 17% of the entire vote.
Now, I believe we make money, people. Don't get me wrong. I think we make money. How much money? That is the question. I got no clue on that. Hopefully, people took advantage of low prices. It's not up to me. I don't tell people to buy, sell, trade, do any of that. Right. But I took advantage of low prices. I'll tell you that.
Anya asked, did Adamir make a big dent in the total debt today? Well, they already had the 100 million paid off from the Antara deal, and he announced that they've paid off another 85 million since December at a 49% discount. So another 85 million is off the balance sheet, and it only cost AMC $42.5 million. That's a good deal. I know what I wanted to talk about with you guys and with Mediocre. This is gonna sound a little shilly. Remember, I keep it real here, but just for the sake of discussion, so everybody can be thinking. I always am thinking pro and con. What are all the possible scenarios? Mediocre, you and I haven't talked about this, but Antara wants a 2-week delay in any dilution till March 31st. And in exchange for that privilege, they're going to cancel. This is the green here. They're going to cancel the remaining indebtedness that AMC owes them. Why would they offer that much of a sweetheart deal? I think that it's fair to ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
And why do they want a 2-week delay? Now, I know what some of the people in the chat are going to say, because my Discord has already been chewing it over. I want to hear your guys' idea in the chat. And Mediocre, I'll let you speak your idea also. Why do they want a 2-week? I already have my answer. I want to hear from you guys. And Mediocre.
They want a chance to dump shares to gain to make money before Adamir dilutes.
Yep. I think that is the same answer that I came up with. So they're going to have, let's see, they have 257 million shares right now, and then they're selling 26 million. So let's call it 225 million. After the reverse split, that'll be 22 million shares of AMC. And they're a shark, this company. They're going to want to generate some return on that investment. So I'm suspecting that they're going to want to start selling those shares in that 2-week period between March 15th and March 31st. What do you guys think? And then really the question to think about, and this is the shilly part, is what is that going to do to the price? It depends on how fast they sell it, honestly. If it was 1.5 million shares a day, not a big deal. If they try and dump them all in one day, it's not going to be too good.
No. And who they selling them to?
To us, ostensibly, to us or some institution that wants to buy them.
Correct. That's what I was kind of getting at. They can go a few ways, right?
Yeah, the only reason I bring that up is as we get closer to the vote, there might be some people that might want, if you're thinking like Antara's thinking, like we want to get out first because we're worried about a dilution announcement. I know some of you are probably thinking, is it smart to get out before a dilution announcement? I can't make that decision for you. But that it is something to think about between now and April 1st, or maybe even between now and March 14th. I don't have an answer for you on that. I don't know what I'm going to do. It is something that I'm going to be thinking about over the coming weeks.
I'm not sure either. I want to see what happens to AMC prior to conversion.
I would hate to do that because, a good portion of my shares are higher than $5.72. So I would take a loss on those shares. I'm not relishing the idea of selling just to try and avoid a temporary rundown in the price. But if there is a price rundown because Adam Aaron announces a dilution, how many months are we going to have to wait before we get an 8K saying I raised $2 billion, cleaned up the balance sheet? That's going to be a traumatizing time for people in this play. If there's no squeeze, if it's just normal dilution, they're slowly selling into retail buying. And then at some point, a month, 2 months, 3 months later, he says, surprise, motherfuckers, we got $3 billion. We've closed out that share offering. We got $3 billion. We paid off $1.5 million of the debt at a 40% discount, and we've still got $1.5 billion in the bank. You will see the price run up at that point. I think, just from the tremendous fundamental improvement that would bring, but that in between time could be a little rough.
I agree. I think he just got to keep doing what he's doing and see what happens. I don't want to see Atera hurt us afterwards, but it could happen. I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I know Mediocre and myself are going to be thinking about this. I want you guys thinking about it. I want you to send me questions, whether it's comments on this video or if you're in my Discord. We have an all day, all night ongoing conversation. We're going to keep on chewing on this, and I'm sure the AMC haters will be chewing on it too. Well, between all of us, we'll work out exactly what the smartest play is. And for some people, the choice is going to be hold no matter what. For some people, the choice is going to be sell and say, fuck this company. And for some people, the choice is going to be sell and hope that it goes down and I get to rebuy on a dip. But no one knows. I'm just saying right now, no one knows for sure what's going to happen. We got a couple weeks to think about it.
You're going to have to make your decisions, for yourself. I would encourage people to read the AK and try to understand it and learn, I mean, you're putting money on the line, and not a little bit of money. I'd imagine so. You're going to kind of want to make a smart financial decision for yourself. So you're going to have to do some work for yourself.
I've said many times it's not the reverse split that scares me. A reverse split on a penny stock is one thing. That's almost always going to end badly. But a reverse split on a company that is recovering and a year away from being profitable, I'm in the market cap size of AMC. I'm not as worried about a huge drop in the price from the reverse split as I am about just statistically every play that I watch. Most of them go down once a company announces dilution. Some 10%, some 20%. It depends on how big the dilution announcement is. And if they do some real fuckery, like Bed Bath & Beyond, with, we don't have convertible preferred share dilution. You can see a big drop in something like BBBY. But we don't have that. This is just a regular share offering. So it just, where I'm going with that is, it's kind of interesting. Like, is Antara anticipating that the price could stay pretty high for a couple weeks up until April 1st? Like, I'm not trying to tell anybody sell before March 14th, because you might have a window there between March 15th and April 1st where it still could stay pretty high.
I mean, who knows? We could attract big investors as soon as we do the conversion and reverse split. We don't know yet, right? It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of stuff that could happen.
Mama Knows Bestest says, what is the after March 14th price target? Do you mean like, what is the converted price going to be when AMC and APE go together? If that was your question, when we were looking at it the other day, when AMC was 570 and APE was 280, I think I did the math and it came out to, it would be about $36 after the conversion and reverse split.
Yeah,
why?
You cannot, just for the sake of this argument, with that whole chart, I figured out that you just cannot take AMC and APE's trading price and add them together. It doesn't work because APE's float is much larger than AMC's. So there's going to be a different price involved there, and it's going to be an individual price.
The easy way to do it, guys, because I didn't want to go through a whole spreadsheet on a video because I just confused a bunch of people. But if you take the market cap of APE and the market cap of AMC, add them together right now, and divide by the float, which let's call it 1.5 billion. That'll give you a price probably right now of about $3.60. And then multiply that times 10. That gets you $36. And obviously, if AMC and APE go up, that $36 will go up. If they go down, then the price will go down. All right. Someone asking about Vanguard. I did see, I haven't looked at AMC, but I did see that Vanguard released all their holdings. Let me pull it up here. I don't want Bed Bath & Beyond. $2.9. This is the filing today. Vanguard has a 9.93% ownership. Previously, they had an 8.95% ownership. So they increased by 4 million shares, roughly.
Tony, I want to bring something up because somebody sent me a text message.
Uh-huh.
And it's a Robinhood updated customer agreement. Did you hear about that?
I saw an email from Robinhood, but I haven't looked at it. What does it say?
It says, we're notifying you of changes being made to the customer agreement governing your Robinhood brokerage account. Effective March 13th, 2023, we're changing the transaction limits that apply to hold on, my eyes bother. Originated ACH withdrawals and deposits made via your brokerage account. They'll now include an aggregate transaction of the same type that you make through other Robinhood accounts held at our affiliated companies for the purpose of calculating the daily limit and whether you have exceeded it.
What's the limit at the other accounts?
I don't know, but it's the day before the transaction.
What do you mean, the day before what transaction?
Before the vote.
Oh,
I don't know if that.
I don't look for conspiracy things of trying to tie disparate things like that together.
No, I hear you. I just think it's odd.
If you made $1 million, you know, would you care if you could only take out 100,000 a day or 200,000 a day? I don't know what the limit is on Robinhood. I don't even recommend that you hold your shares in Robinhood, period.
I don't have Robinhood, but I just figured I'd put it out there for people who do. So
I've seen so many people try and tie, you know, this date over here on this company is looking suspiciously close to this other event that's going on over here that is completely unrelated. But since the dates are close, I'm just going to assume that this is nefarious activity. I don't do that in my own brain, and I don't do it on my channel. You guys are welcome to do it, but I'm not going to talk about stuff like that. I just
was bringing up the email. I thought it was strange. I don't follow Robinhood stuff.
It is coincidental. It is coincidental. I don't know if it's strange.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Hey, I don't follow Robinhood, so you know I use TD. I'm good. I'm happy there.
Walka's World says, if the reverse split happened tomorrow, someone do the math for me. Add up the market caps, divide by 1.5 billion. E5 Romero says, what did I miss? You're going to have to hit rewind. I also saw, on a separate note, Robinhood lost $57 million on that Cosmos fiasco a month ago. I'm going to do a video on that tomorrow because I saw all sort of fucking conspiracy bullshit nonsense on Twitter. Robinhood, this is exactly what I told you guys. I'm using my voice of someone else. I told you guys. I told you it was a conspiracy. They're running a secret predatory algorithm to steal money from retail investors. Nope, it's not. It was not any secret predatory algorithm. Why Robinhood lost $57 million. They had an administrative error. I was watching live streams and trading Cosmos that morning when this shit happened. Everybody that woke up that had shares in Robinhood, guess what? They didn't split your shares. They forgot to punch the button to affect a 1 for 25 reverse split. So you woke up in Robinhood and they were letting you sell your shares in the morning 25 times more than you actually had because they didn't affect the reverse split. That, by definition, put the broker accidentally in a short position because you did not really have 25 shares of Cosmos. You had one, but they let you sell 25. They fucked themselves for 24 shares, and they had to go back in and buy all those up. Once they figured out after about 30 minutes their mistake, they locked everybody out, and Robinhood stopped trading on Cosmos. And Robinhood had to go in the market and buy all those fucking shares back. That's what helped push the price up. People were locked out on multiple brokers, and Robinhood was eating $57 million of mistake. It was nothing predatory. It was not, your broker's not running an algo against you. They just fucked up. And you saw that press release today, how much it cost them. By letting you sell 25 shares, they accidentally went short because you only had one.
Grab
All
PD
right.
Harris's comment.
Let me put up this one. Oh, is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, we're great minds think alike, mediocre. I've been hearing Bigums. I was punching it before you even started talking. Bigums and Boss saying that after the reverse split, there will be 10 times less shares for the hedgies to utilize to close. That is true. That is true. Making the price go up. I look, I'm not going to speculate on what happens to the price. There will be less shares. And if everyone in a perfect world carefully hodled their shares and treated them as precious because you have 10x less worth 10 times more, they would have to bump the price up to pry them out of your hands in a perfect world. But there's going to be people mad about the reverse split because they wanted the no vote. They're going to say, fuck AMC. And there's going to be some people selling. So I don't know what's going to happen to the price.
I want to say about the reverse split. I don't understand why people don't like the reverse split, because I believe it's just because they see it on these penny stocks all the time, which is totally different. And I know you already said this, but I don't understand why people think reverse split is bad. It's not bad for us. We're a mid-cap company. We're gonna survive this. We're not even near $1. I don't understand. It benefits us.
We're not reverse splitting to stay listed on the big board like all these ridiculous penny stock companies.
Correct. It's going to be the same shorts. If they're going to continue to short us, it's going to be the same thing as them shorting us right now. There's nothing that's going to change. If they're going to continue to short us, so they're going to short us at a higher price. They're not going to send us to zero. I mean, I don't see that happening anyways, but I just wanted to bring it up because I think reverse split helps us, in my opinion.
Galaxy says at this point, 2 years since all of occurred hedge funds have probably wised up and don't over leverage themselves in these other tickers that retail likes. We never know, Galaxy. There's literally hundreds of different institutions and hedge funds making bets, not only on the stock, but in the derivatives market, swaps, all sorts of stuff. You never know who's over leveraged in a play. If they were smart, yes, they learned from their buddies who have gone under in the past 2 years. Jana, what's up? Jana says, I think the number of people holding any amount of synthetics, even after reverse split, will make this just crazy. Yep. If anybody's estimate of synthetics are true, all of that's still in play. Whatever synthetic positions exist, will transfer, convert, reverse split, and all of them will be in play. If you're a big believer in synthetic shares, they're not just going to get wiped away because of this corporate action. Everything will move and reverse split and the price go up. Any obligations they have are not going to go away. I keep on hearing people say that. They're going to delete 90% of the synthetics. If there are synthetics, guys, they're not going to be deleted.
If there are synthetics, we're holding them. That's what you guys need to understand. If they're synthetics and we bought them, they're in our brokerage accounts. Yep. Our brokers are responsible for our money. So if there are synthetics, then we have them. They have to be transferred.
100%. Juicy, what's up? Juicy says, I think it's because people had plans with all the shares that they have stacked up to sell in increments. Now that's going to be way less. I get it. I've talked to some very smart people and that are concerned about the same thing. And hundreds of you guys that are concerned about it. I've watched dozens of videos of people that are concerned about that. I get it. I understand your concern. That concern only makes sense if you think that this thing is going to be sold off. I'm hearing people say they're going to short it down to $5. That would be like shorting AMC down to 50 cents right now. Has it gone to 50 cents? I mean, the market cap would be so small that it's not, I can't even imagine AMC, someone's going to come in and buy if this thing starts getting shorted down, because it's going to intrinsically be a good buy. The market cap will be too cheap. Retail gets stuck on a number like $50 a share is too much. No one's going to pay that. If you're buying 100 shares for $5, it's the same as buying 10 shares for $50. It's the exact same thing, same ownership in the company. You spent the same amount of dollars. You got to get over. If you think $50 is too much for a stock, it's because you're playing too many penny stocks. Wall Street and institutions do not think that way. That is a retail mental disorder. Not saying they can't short it down or they won't try. I'm just saying at some point it becomes so cheap and the market cap so ridiculously low that it does not make sense to keep going down. Bam Offu. What's up? Thank you for the super chat. He says, I own APE and AMC. AMC is above my cost basis and APE below. In your opinion, am I right to continue to buy APE to lower my cost basis? So I don't know if you were here when we were talking about the arbitrage price. We did some spreadsheet calculations, and the close yesterday and the close today of AMC and APE looked to me to be perfectly balanced for the arbitrage play. So roughly the equivalence is, if APE is half the cost of AMC, then it's balanced. If APE were to be $1 tomorrow, I would be buying it. If it's $2.75 and APE and AMC is $5.75, I'm not going to be buying APE because it's roughly half the cost of AMC. There's no advantage at that point to buy APE. The time to buy it was a few weeks ago when it was 65, 70, 90, 100 cents. Dan says, this is bullish news. I don't know why people are freaking out. I got a lot of theories on that, Dan, man.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, Dan, but
people don't like change, and there's a lot of AMC and Adam haters. They don't care about the fundamentals. They don't care about AMC improving itself long term for investors. They just want a MOAS. And for those people, they might have a legit concern. I'm not going to try and talk them out of their concerns. It wouldn't matter even if I did try.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Speculation. None of this has been said, whatever, but we'll just say that there is synthetics for the sake of this argument. We'll say that the short interest is 0 for the sake of argument. That would mean you have no pushing power to remove synthetics out of the stock, just for the sake of this argument. So the only way to get synthetics out of the stock is naturally by people just leaving the stock if there was synthetics, and we do whole synthetics, or Adam Ayrton becoming profitable and giving a cash dividend to its shareholders. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know when that can happen. I'm just saying. There's many ways this can go. That's all I'm trying to say.
For the comment on the screen from Spaceman, he says his concern is the price might only move $1 if it was $10, 10 shares, the price moves up $1 is $10. If it moves up $1 now after the reverse split, you're only making $1. But again, get your brain, stop thinking about price and think in terms of percentage, right? Because the float is going to be reduced. So a 3% move on a $30 stock will be 90 cents. Whereas right now it would be 9 cents. It's still the same move. You can't think in terms of pennies versus dollars. Think in terms of percentage. What if AMC went up 6%? It would, and it was at $10. It would go up 6% of $10 or 6% of $50. It's not just going to move $1 unless it was only going up a fraction of a percent. You got to look at what is the volatility in terms of percentage up and down on AMC in a day and multiply that times the price. Whether the price is $5 or $50, it's going to still move the same percentage. Wall Street does not care about the price because they understand the relationship between price and float. Retail does not get that yet. That's what I'm trying to coach you guys on. Stop thinking about price. Think in terms of price versus float and percentage move. The same percentage move right now is going to be a 10x percentage move. And I don't think that all of a sudden, because after the reverse split, we're not going to get a 6% move a day. We're only going to get a 1% move a day. No, if something happens that makes a stock move 6%, you're going to see a much bigger jump in a day because the price is higher.
And the float is smaller.
Right. But on the flip side, 6% moved down is going to look bigger because the price is higher. Hey, what's up? I'm live right now, babe.
I know, we just got back from a very long day, but
Let me see your nails. She went and got her nails done.
blue color.
My wife brought me fruit.
Come here.
There's just a fun blue color.
It looks beautiful, babe. The dog needs to be fed.
Come on, been running around all day. You can't have the animals fed.
Everybody's fed except the dog. I'll be with you shortly. We got serious business here, Scarlett.
I love it. This is serious business.
Sonny,
I just hope everybody just, do some research, relax,
you hear me?
get through it, right? We got to get through it. I don't think there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do. You're going to sell, like, I'm red. I don't know how many of you are red. I'll admit it. I'm red. I'm gonna sell for a loss right now. I don't think so.
All right, we're at 90 minutes. I think we've covered everything we need to go through this topic. I don't want to keep people on a 4-hour live stream.
I agree.
Anybody got any last pressing questions regarding this 8K? And if we come up with anything different or we were incorrect, if we're incorrect and you think we're incorrect about something, you can drop a comment after the video's over. Or if you're watching this on replay, feel free to do that. Are you streaming this on your channel too, Mediocre?
What was that, Tony?
Are you streaming this on your channel also?
Oh, I am. Yes.
So you can drop a comment on my channel or Mediocre's, and we'll try and get back to you.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're going to be thinking about this, listening to other people, and if we got something wrong, we'll come in and make some updates.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm wrong, I got no problem being wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same here. This is our first night looking at this. This is first pass. I think we got pretty close. But if we got something wrong, we'll come back and update you guys.
But I just want everybody to know, I don't think this is terrible news. I think this is actually decent news for shareholders. If You're looking to see the company succeed. So I don't want anybody to really be like, oh, this is bad. I mean, if you look at it that way, that's how you look at it. I can't change everybody's mind, and I'm not going to try.
I'm gonna. Sorry, my chair ran over my earpiece. Hang on one second. I'm going to do a quick recap one last time for anybody that joined in late. Just a 60-second overview of what the form said. Yes, I fed everybody except the dog. The top paragraph is talking about the December 22nd tranche number 2. This is not new shares. This is just the closure of the December deal. The middle paragraph talking about a waiver of the lockup. This is AMC and Antara agreeing with each other that Antara can sell 26 million APE, probably already are, because this was this was today, February 9th. They agreed to it. So probably starting tomorrow. And AMC will be allowed to sell up to $140 million worth of APE. I know that they have about 60 million left. So multiply that times roughly today's price. That gets you in the ballpark of 140 million. They don't want to burn those last 60 million apes. AMC wants to get cash in the bank. I like that. It's better than letting them go to waste. Price probably went down a little bit today because that is a little bit more extra dilution. It changes the arbitrage value formula. In the green, it says the company is agreeing, the company being AMC, that they will not do any dilution before March 31st. And if we're reading this correct, it says that in exchange for that, the company's outstanding indebtedness with Antara will be canceled. That's probably a $300 or $400 million cancellation of outstanding indebtedness. And I'll keep on working to try and get what that exact number is, but it's a lot of filings to go through and try and figure it out.
I'm hoping Adam Aaron puts it out.
Maybe he will.
Yeah.
In addition to this ape that they sold to Antara and the debt that was paid off as part of that, in addition, we got new news here in blue that AMC also repurchased or paid off $85 million in additional debt at a 49% discount. So $85 million of debt wiped off the balance sheet for $42.5 million. That's a fucking slamming deal. And the total debt that's been paid off up until now, $365 million. So roughly $36 million a year in savings on interest payments, plus the improvement to the balance sheet. And there's going to be people I know, 365 million, that's nothing to 5 billion. Guys, you got to start somewhere. A journey starts with taking steps. The steps are being taken. Nothing in here tells me this company is trying to go bankrupt or hand it over to the creditors. They are trying to pay off the debt, and they're making some pretty banging deals with these discounts on the debt as they're paying it off. Now, there'll be people that tell you, a completely opposite story. That's fine. Everybody's going to have their opinion.
That's right.
You guys listen to who you want, make up your own minds. I'm not here to try and sway you. I'm just giving you my opinion. Mediocre, right. You got any wrap-up thoughts?
Yep. This is my opinion is this is very good for the company. It's okay for the shareholders. I mean, it hurts. Believe me, I feel the pain just like the rest of you. But it is good for shareholders because he's trying to help us, right? And that's about all I have to say. Like I didn't find anything in here that was detrimental to us. I think it's good news. I just want to thank Tony for having me on. I want to thank all of you guys for watching, and thank you. Appreciate it.
As always, be good to one another. Let's try and, we can disagree on due diligence. We can disagree on why someone, why AMC is doing this or why Antara is doing that, but try and treat people with respect. Keep personal attacks out of it. Be a good human being to your fellow humans. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mediocre. Thanks to
Thank
the
you.
mods. Thanks to the supporters of this channel. You guys are why we're here. We're here to help to the best that we can, help you figure out these filings and what they mean. Have a good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.